care what anybody tells you about money. I hear all these guys saying, man, money don't matter. If you follow the money, if you just work for money, oh my God, you're going to fail. Let me tell you something. Go get that money. Go chase that money.
Gen Y, Gen X, Millennials, Generation Me, Generation Internet. You know who you are. You've been crushed, hit hard by this economy.
So if you're dealing with college debt, maybe you're even trying to move out of your parents' house or start a new business. Look, the only way you're going to be able to do that is to be able to produce and to get people to pay you what you're worth.
I'm fighting for your generation. I'm not counting you out. I believe in you. We're here to give young hustlers the advice and tools they need to succeed in the 21st century.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to this week's edition of Young Hustlers. My name's Jared Glant, and every Thursday at noon East Coast Standard Time, I'm here, Grant Cardone's here, one of us is here. Dude, but the reason we come here is we want to help give you some tips and some strategies and some ways that you can kind of accelerate your path to success. The reason we did this show is because about, what's it been, 4 years? 4 years ago. 4 years ago, we started this show, this podcast. If you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher, thank you. If you're watching on the stream, share the stream. We're trying to be everywhere, right? But the reason that we started this show is because I was like, man, I at the time was under 30, and I was like, Grant, I want to make some money. And everything that I hear about millennials right now says that they're lazy, they're entitled, that they actually want to be in debt, that they want to live in their parents' basement. And it just ain't true, man. It ain't true. And I was like, I know that there's a bunch of hustlers out there just like me who want to get that money, who want to chase that money, who want to get that guala. That's what I'm talking about, that guala. So that's why we created the show, so that people that are millennials, that's how it started, but then it really evolved into just people who have that young hustle. Grant Cardone, man, he's got that young hustle, man. He's out there chasing that money hard, evolving, changing with the times, adopting new technologies, and then when necessary, cannibalizing a whole product line so that we can continue to change and disrupt. And so that's why we do this show. And today we're talking about pressure. Pressure, right? That feeling that you get when you're going into a tough situation, unfamiliar situation, those environments where you just start like freaking out, right? Like, what do you do to handle that? How do you eliminate that? How do you remove that? I've been put in a lot of pressure situations, a lot. And pressure situations just don't have to be in a business environment. You get put in pressure situations in your personal life, with relationships, with friendships, school, work. There's so many different areas that you get found in these situations where you're like, man, dude, there's some things at stake right now, right? Could be failure, could be loss of self-esteem. I don't know, man. You get in a situation where there's a lot of pressure. And I don't know a whole lot of people who respond really well to pressure. But one thing that stuck with me, and I'll tell you a little backstory on this, was Tim Grover, who was one of our speakers at the 10X GrowthCon, which was unreal, by the way. If you haven't seen it yet, you can get a deal on the live stream right now. It's a $4,000 program. Right now you can get it for $469 is the normal price, is the normal sale price. But I think through the end of the day today, it's on sale for $169. That was the pre-sale pricing. It's going to go away. It's a $469 product. You can buy it at 10xgrowthcon.com. But Tim Grover was at the event, and he was talking about cleaners. Like, he coached Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Charles Barkley. Just like every peak top level athlete that you could ever imagine, this guy's worked with. These people have like enormous amounts of pressure. Game 7, 3 seconds left, down by a point. and then MJ gets the ball and drops the 3 for the win, right? So he deals with people that are in pressure situations all the time. It's part of their job. And he said something that stuck with me so hard. He said, dude, pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege to have bestowed upon you. And I remember I was sitting in the back of GrowthCon. This was the second day of GrowthCon. I was speaking the next day. I've never really spoken in front of an audience ever in my life. And the first time I do it's in front of like almost 2,000 people. So, I mean, so I'm thinking, I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna say? Am I gonna nail it? All these uncertainties that I have about the situation. But he was like, pressure is a privilege. And as soon as I realized that, dude, if you're even in a situation where you have pressure put on you, you gotta know that you have some altitude. That you have some altitude in that situation, and that's actually why you have the ability to be put in that situation. And I'll challenge you and I'll tell you that if you're not finding yourselves in a pressure situation, then you need to start looking for it. Because that means that you are not a consideration for the circumstances when the stakes are high. I want to be that guy. You want to be that guy. If you want to be valuable, you need to find yourself in pressure situations. The first big deal I brought to Grant, I had been here for like 4 months, and I brought him a deal for sales training for Kawasaki Motor Corporation. Dude, we go down and we sit in this meeting, and it's a table that's probably 30 feet long, and there's executives from every department wrapped all the way around. And I'm like 26 years old, wet behind the ears, and I'm like, dude, there's some pressure in this situation, right? And so like how do you get yourself into those situations in the first place? And if you're not right now, how do you find your way, to earn the right to be in those situations? So look, I'll just tell you one thing right off the bat. There's a difference between pressure and fear. I think a lot of people bring the two together, that, fear and pressure, they kind of go with one another. I couldn't disagree more. I think that pressure is something that is based on a situation, and fear is something that is totally like internal, and it's like it's almost a retreat from the situation rather than I'm going to be in the situation even though the stakes are high. When we get back, I'm going to go into why you feel pressure and then what you can actually do about it. This is Young Hustlers. We'll be back.
If you weren't here this year, get at Grant, brother. We gonna blow up your business. This is real.
And you will be shifted to a level that you cannot imagine at this point.
That was off the charts. The vibe in that room was unbelievable. Then you don't show up, you need a new brain, kid.
Such an awesome time. I just felt the vibe. It's such a pleasant experience for me to be around 2,500 amazing people that want to.
I guarantee you it's going to be twice, triple. It's going to be 10x the size. It's going to be 10,000 people here. Be here live. Be here live.
Don't get stuck in an almost life. You're gonna love it. You are coming. No excuses. Bring 2 people, change your life.
Best of men I've ever been in, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna teach everybody out here to take that mindset up to that skill set and teach you how to be a cleaner.
But I had a great time, and I love the people so very much. So we're all Team Cardone. The kids don't get excluded.
A lot of energy, a lot of great people in the room. Next year is definitely the year you have to be here.
Grant is a cleaner. I'm going to teach you how to be just like him and be successful.
It's a game changer. I'm sorry you can't get that from the live stream. You got to be here in person, okay? Do whatever it takes. Get here on.
It's an achievement-driven audience. Dreamers identify with them, and I felt a special connection.
What's up, it's Shark Damon John. Now, this room is empty right now, but it was packed with 3,000 amazing entrepreneurs at the Grant Cardone 10X GrowthCon. I came up here to speak to inspire them. The energy they had and how they're going to go out and change the world inspired me. I'm definitely going to be back.
Real people selling real things, teaching you how to build a real business, and it's an investment in the future, and you need to be here.
Hey, we're back. This is your man, JG, right here. Young Hustlers every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday is the right day. Noon East Coast Standard Time, right here. Grant Cardone TV, Facebook Live, iTunes, Stitcher. Grant Cardone and me are bringing you the tips to get you shortcut on your path to success, those little success hacks. We're talking about pressure today and how you can better handle pressure, how you can overcome pressure and rise above. when the situation gets tough. So dude, the definition of pressure, we were just talking about this, the feeling of stressful urgency caused by the necessity of doing or achieving something, especially with limited time. So dude, I want to go over some reasons why you probably feel pressure. Okay, I know, and I'll speak from personal experience why I feel pressure. I feel pressure when I'm not familiar with something. Okay, I feel pressure when I have no knowledge of something. I feel pressure when there's uncertainty, when I don't know what to expect. I feel pressure when I'm unprepared, probably more than any other time. If I'm unprepared, that's probably the best way to describe it. Dude, if I'm unprepared, I'm gonna feel pressure. If I gotta do a presentation and I'm not on my game, I'm gonna feel pressure. If it's something new, right? Something new can create pressure on a situation because you're not familiar with it. And then like the magnitude of importance, right? So pitching a deal for $3 million versus pitching a deal for $30, right? The magnitude of importance or what's at stake gets really big. So like what can you do to handle that? Like, first of all, you got to identify where those situations could happen in your life. Like you need to get familiar with like, okay, hey, where are the areas that I'm not familiar, that I'm uncertain, that I'm unprepared, that I lack knowledge? Like what are those areas where you could possibly be in that situation and you want to make sure that you're prepared? Perfect example. You're a sniper. You're a sniper, right? If you're a sniper, there's a chance that you're going to have to pick somebody off from a distance, and they might even have somebody right up close to them because they're like holding a gun to their head or something, right? Dude, pressure situation, the stakes are high. If you miss, you're gonna splat the forehead of somebody else on the back of the wall, right? Kind of morbid, but like, dude, like you got to identify those situations. So like for me in this company, right? Where would I experience pressure? Number one, I'd experience pressure in front of an audience. Number two, where would I experience pressure? I'd experience pressure pitching a big deal in front of a big group of people or an important group of people or a deal that had a lot of significance, right? So like, what can I do to better prepare for that? Like, man, I got to know my stuff, right? Like, be prepared. I have to, probably practice over and over and over again. So like if you get put in these situations and you feel pressure over and over and over again, you're not doing anything about it, like that's a problem. That's a problem, right? So identify the groups in the areas that you feel pressure. Now what to do about it. I'm gonna go over some steps that you can do to actually handle pressure so that you can be more confident in those situations. But before we do that, I just wanna jump on.
I'm asking you to tell them to call in.
Oh, yeah. I thought somebody, yeah. So call in 305-865-8668. I want to hear about your most pressure-filled moment and how you handled it. Hopefully your story can help somebody else. So let's see here. Dude, we got somebody from the Philippines on. My whole family is traditional. What do you do? You really don't want to point them by quitting university. Okay, so hang on one second. Wait for it.
I felt pressure the first time I made a sales call.
Of course, right? You're unfamiliar.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Can they hear you right now?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
The first time that the video guy picked up the phone and started making sales calls, I was really nervous about it.
Yeah, why?
I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to approach it. I didn't know what to expect from somebody that was going to communicate to me. It just didn't make any sense, and you get hung up on, and people just, And
then you feel like introverted because you get beat. So I'm just going to go right into the steps to handling pressure because I think it piggybacks on what Rob was saying right there.
What do you do?
The first step to become a master at handling pressure is you have to get into a pressure situation. Like this is the most important step of handling pressure. It's probably the hardest of all of them to do is you have to get into that situation. You have to get over your head. Like when we were at the top of that hill, Rob hadn't skied for about as long as I have. And dude, we go up to the mountain after I'd been skiing for a few days. I kind of got my legs underneath me, and Rob comes over, and we're at the top of this massive hill, and he's like, "Man, I'm feeling some pressure right now because my skill ain't up to the level that I know I need to be in." Right? But see, what Rob did is he had to put himself into that situation. He had to get in a little bit over his head so that he could experience that.
Yeah.
So that he could push himself and grow. And so I think what a lot of people do is they just bail out on this whole first step. Is they don't even get to the point where they're in over their head. They don't even get into the situation. They're not looking for it actively. Instead, they're the effect of it in a different situation, right? They're not causing it. They're not going out looking for it. They're the effect of it. And because they're the effect of it and they're not causing it, they're unprepared. And when you're unprepared, you're going to lose confidence. And if you fail, you're going to feel introverted because you were the effect of something rather than the cause of it. So number one step that you have to do is you have to get in over your head. Whoop. Do we have somebody on the line there?
Yeah, we have Albert from Europe.
Oh, Albert. Let's talk to Albert from Europe.
Oh,
Albert, what's going on?
Nice sport.
Hi. Watching your live stream.
Oh, dude, I love that, man. Where are you calling from?
From Estonia.
Estonia. Right on, man. Hey, Albert, what do you do? How do you handle pressure situations?
I just try not to think about it, and when I succeed in that, when I don't think about it, I'm doing fine.
That's just kind of push the whole pressure thing off to the side. I did a little bit of that at GrowthCon. I definitely did a little bit of that, But number one, you have to get in the situation, right? Number two, you can cut him. Number two is you have to be willing to fail like miserably. Like you got to be willing to get up and fail. If you're not willing to fail, then you're never going to find yourself in a pressure situation. The fear of failure is why people probably don't go out and actively look for those situations. So like, dude, where are those little areas where you're like, man, maybe I should do that, but then I don't. Or man, maybe I should try to do that, but you don't. And what happens is you don't grow as a person. Like that was really important for me. Like I got put in a pressure situation when I was gonna move to LA to come work for Grant. I was with my friends, I was in a comfortable situation, I was in San Diego, I was beautiful, living on the beach, and I was like, man, I'm in a situation now where I know that I have to make a decision that's gonna impact the rest of my life. And there was a lot of pressure in that situation, but I moved. Dude, every move I've made since then has been so much easier because I was like, dude, I can go out and step out on my own, and I've got enough faith in myself that even if it doesn't work, I can rebound and I can figure something else out. So we just covered the first step and the second step of how to handle pressure. When we get back from the break, we're gonna finish the list. This is Young Hustlers.
This isn't landscape design, this is lifestyle design.
Steve Griggs is the best landscaper on the planet and gives you knowledge and data that you can't even find on Google. Featured on Huffington Post, Entrepreneur.com, Grant Cardone TV, Steve Griggs is the entrepreneur built and designed to help you make your home become the lifestyle of your dreams.
For more information, visit stevegriggsdesign.com. That's stevegriggsdesign.com.
Too many people are being kept from their dreams by circumstances they couldn't control and mistakes from a long time ago. All they needed was a second chance or a fresh start. That's why Cash Now was created. Since 1997, Ray Abood, owner of Cash Now, has been the premier expert in home renovation and resale in the York tri-state area. Dedicated to premier customer service, getting the best deals at the lowest price, this is the only expert company you should deal with when it comes to buying and selling a home. Offering a 5-step home buying process, Ray and his team will ensure your needs are covered and get you closer to your dreams of buying a home in any city across the United States. To find out more on how you can get started on owning or selling a home, visit cashnowpa.com. That's cashnowpa.com to get started. Business with an e-commerce store, physical products to ship, we're here to help. Ship For Me is the most efficient shipping fulfillment service in the world. Get your products to your customers fast, save money in your business, and satisfy your customers immediately. With Ship For Me order fulfillment. Spread worldwide, we are the best in the industry with no upfront cost. We hold your inventory and will ship your products. Get started now at shipforme.com. That's shipforme.com. Instagram? Are you looking to grow your following organically? Let the experts at Digital CEOs with a combined following of over 3 million people grow your followers organically. No bots, no fake accounts, genuine people, real conversations, and go from 0 to 100,000 followers in less than 9 months. For more information, visit digitalceos.co/Cardone. That's digitalceos.co/Cardone right now.
Hey, welcome back. This is Young Hustlers every Thursday at noon East Coast Standard Time. You know what movie I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what movie.
What's it called?
With Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
And that dude that was in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
No. Where it's the weasel. What movie was that? Encino Man.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it was. So every Thursday, noon East Coast Standard Time, we don't come here to talk about movies. We come here to talk about business. We talk about what you can do to get ahead in your career, make some extra guala, make some extra paper, and start investing in creating something. I mean, that's what I did. I came here. I followed an intuition that this guy Grant was the right guy to be associated with. Right? And I had all kinds of pressure around the decisions that I had to make to move from San Diego to LA, didn't know anybody in LA. And then I had to go through all the pressure of calling CEOs of companies to sell them a product that nobody likes. Nobody likes training, right? And I'm putting myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable and there's pressure because I'm not prepared. I don't have the skill. I'm not familiar. I'm uncertain. And then doing that enough times to where you start winning, and then the pressure changes. It's not from making the call, it's because the stakes get bigger. So what can you do to like now to the point where Grant, he don't feel pressure when he walks in to pitch a little baby deal, but his pressure's a little different. He feels pressure going in to buy the $120 million piece of real estate. But I guarantee you that pressure level changes as his skill and his amount of times that he's been in those situations increases. So we're talking about steps to handle pressure. Number one is you have to get in over your head. You've got to get in those situations where you're going to be crunched for time, the stakes are high, the magnitude of the deal is high, it's unfamiliar. You've got to get into that situation because if you never do that, you're never going to grow. And if you don't grow, the pressure situations aren't going to be bigger. And so number one, it's a problem if you never get put in pressure situations because that means people don't trust you with pressure, big problem. But number two, if the pressure situations that you're in aren't changing and they're escalating, then you're not growing. So you got to focus on very first, the self-awareness. You got to be like, okay, hey, when was the last time I got put in a situation that I was uncomfortable in and there was pressure? Not fear, not that you're scared of, but just there's pressure on the circumstances because of the stakes or the people involved or whatever. So number one, you got to be willing to get in over your head. Number two, you got to be willing to fail miserably. When I'm sitting in San Diego and I got to make a decision, go someplace that I don't know, go to a city where I don't know anybody to work for a guy that I really don't know a whole lot about, except for a couple hours of YouTube videos, right? To go sell a product that most of the people that I talked to who were in sales said, don't get involved in sales training. It's the most difficult thing you could sell. I got a lot of pressure on me, right? But you know what I said? I was like, screw it. If I fail, I fail. I can come back here. I was willing to go up there and fail. I was willing to move to LA and fail. And then fail over and over and over again, right? So number one, you've got to get in over your head. Number two, you have to be willing to fail miserably. Number three, dude, you have to prepare and educate yourself like you want to be a billionaire. You got to get your game up. You got to get your education game up. You got to get your knowledge game up. You got to get your training game up. You have to elevate your skill so that you can handle pressure situations, so that you increase the outcome, the ability for the outcome to be positive for you, right? So let's say you get it, you get in over your head. You got the first step. Number two, you're willing to fail. You get in the deal, but you don't prepare, dude, you're going to lose. And if you keep getting to that preparation step, that education step, and you don't change anything, the pressure situations for you will not change. Does that make sense? The pressure situations you get in will not elevate because your win rate's going to be low. And then you're not going to be changing or evolving, Number four, you have to execute. So once you've gotten in over your head, you've made the decision, hey, I'm doing this, okay? Number two, Number two, you have to be willing to fail. Number three, you have to prepare and educate yourself. And then number four, you have to execute. You got to actually perform. Regardless of the outcome, right? Regardless of the outcome, you have to get up there and you have to execute, even if it's poorly, even if you fail. Or maybe it's just mediocre, who knows? But you have to do it, right? And then the fifth and final step is that this is something that is a successful action. We do this every time, is you have to review what you do and then repeat it, right? Like, so review and repeat, that would be the fifth step. So be willing to get in over your head, be willing to fail miserably, prepare and educate yourself, execute, and then number 5, review and repeat. So you have to repeat the cycle so that you continue to grow. But the review piece is oftentimes where people miss. So anytime we have a big meeting here, or we do, like GrowthCon, for example, we just finished GrowthCon. Like the very first thing we do, if you guys were watching Grant's Facebook, I was over at Grant's house an hour after GrowthCon ended, and we were reviewing what worked, what didn't work, what would we change, what did we do poorly, what did we do great. And you have to get, because that helps you with your self-awareness of like, hey, like where are the out points, where am I weak, where are the deficiencies, and then where are the strengths, where do I know I should continue to do those same things over and over and over again. So those are the steps that I would use to handle pressure. Let's go to a caller.
We got Sergio from California.
Sergio, what's up?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Tell me about a pressure situation you've been in recently.
Dude, so yesterday my buddy says, hey man, we need to use the 10X GrowthCon thing to our advantage. So I said, let me go network with a few car places out here. And I went out there, because I do food catering myself. So I said, hey man, let me say, with this dude that has a lot of radio play out here. His buzz is already, you know what I mean? His feed's already buzzing. His feed is popping already. So I told him, hey man, let's set up something where we can have a car wash. I'll bring some girls out here. They can car wash. We get a crowd out here. We get people out here, hook. And I didn't expect him to say yeah, so I had to come up with all the people.
So you didn't expect him to say yes, and he did?
He said, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. I got on Facebook Live. I got on Instagram. I did a little quick commercial outside his shop, and I asked, I said, hey, I'm looking for some young women, beautiful women that want to work, make some money. We're going to have a car wash out here. We're trying to get the radio station. We're trying to do it real big. And that same day, that same hour, I got all the people.
Dude, I love that. So you pulled it off.
Dude, I pulled it off, man.
Let me ask you something. When you realized that you pulled it off, how did you feel?
Dude, I was just about to tell you, the feeling was crazy feeling, man.
Confident?
Dude, I was just hanging out, not expecting none of this, and I'm already fucking moved.
Dude, I'm with you 100%. And I'll tell you that the satisfaction of completing that and winning, dude, that motivation, that confidence, that's what you have to redirect to build into a bigger situation. Like, I got to tell you, when we were doing GrowthCon, I felt a lot of pressure. And we had a timeline. We had 90 days to pull this thing off. And so I'm like, man, are we going to be able to pull this off? This is crazy, right? Like, we got 2,200 people coming. We're doing basically like a 7 or 8 month event in 90 days. And like, there's a lot at stake. A lot of people are coming, a lot of high expectations. But man, Sunday night at 7:30, when we finished that, it was like the confidence that we had as a company and our ability to not only duplicate this, but elevate the stakes and go to the next level. Like, I know some things that we're planning for 2018 GrowthCon that are gonna trip you out. Like, if you thought 2017 was sick, dude, 2018 is gonna be off the chain, man. It's gonna be raining guala, guala, guala. So 10xgrowthcon.com, you can buy the live stream now. It's on sale for only $169. It's a $5,000 program. For $169, and you can also buy access to the 2018 GrowthCon. We sold out 2017. 2018 is for sale now.
/2018.
10xgrowthcon.com/2018 is where you can buy your tickets. Do we have?
Yeah, we have Glenn Lundy from Kentucky.
Oh, let's go to Glenn Lundy, man. My man, Glenn. Glenn, what's up?
Hey, what are you doing, Jared?
What's going on, bro? You're on Young Hustlers, man. Thanks for calling in. Is this your first time calling in?
First time calling in on Young Hustlers, yes sir.
You're the man, brother. Dude, give us some knowledge bombs on pressure situations.
Knowledge bombs I can handle, man. Knowledge bombs I can handle. I wanted to call in because one thing, I'm in high pressure situations every day.
Sure.
You know what I do. You know what I do out here. So every day I'm on the, I'm on the stage.
And just so you guys know, Glenn, like the pressure situations he's in, his business is it's a transactional business. It's a $30,000 to $80,000, $90,000 transaction. So he deals with customers and situations like that. And he also runs a massive sales team. So there's pressure situations, just managing the team and doing sales meetings and performing. So I just wanted to give you that little back data. But go ahead, Glenn.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. But one of the biggest tips that I could give to everybody is you can't think. You got to go with your gut. You got to go with instinct.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting there and you're thinking about it and you're hesitating and you're not sure, it's better to take action and fail than to sit there and think about it and never take any action.
No, it's the truth, man. That's the truth.
And you know
what you said? You said something. You said something that I want to just hit on. Instinct. Like you have that instinct. Like I know things to do and say on a call now that's like I know what to ask because the repetitions have been there for so long and I've seen the situations unfold and I've heard the customer problems, and when they're saying X, man, I know what that really means is Y. And so right. that instinct starts building with repetition. I really like that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like at the 10X Growth Conference, they touched on it with Tim Grover touched on it with Roddy Chong.
Mm-hmm.
Roddy was up there, and he's running around like crazy, playing that fiddle like nobody I've ever seen. And he's not looking, he's not thinking. Tim asked him, "What were you thinking about when you were on stage?" And Roddy said, "Nothing."
Yeah.
He wasn't thinking about anything, man. And so that's the key. In pressure situations, you got to take action. That's what people want. They need to take action. And in order to take the right actions, like you said, Jared, you gotta study and train and know what to say and when to say it.
Yep. Love that, man. Dude, I appreciate the call. Glenn is an amazing dude. He's also one of our best clients. You can follow him on Facebook, Glenn Lundy. Good guy, has a lot of good stuff. You should follow him. So dude, pressure, how are you gonna get in that situation? Like, do you even wanna be in that situation? Because I'll tell you, if you don't wanna be in a pressure situation, then the chances of you having massive amounts of success are very small. So you gotta decide what burns more. The burn of being uncomfortable and uncertain and unprepared in a pressure situation, or do you want to feel the burn of not getting what you want out of life? It's an easy decision. As long as you know where you want to go, then getting in the pressure situation should be the easiest choice that you can make. And the truth is, look, at the end of the day, the more prepared you are, the more confident you're going to be. And then when you start getting in those situations, when I moved from San Diego to LA with a freaking black cape of uncertainty in front of me, and I ran full speed through it, dude, the confidence that I had was just like unreal, because I knew that I could take a big risk and my ability would help it pay off. And it completely changed the game for me, and it unlocked everything that I knew I was capable of. And so now it's just, I know the reward of the pressure situation. How do I go find bigger pressure situations to be in? How do I find the next thing to get over my head with? And so I'm going to challenge you to find that pressure situation in the next week. I want to hear about it next week on the show on Young Hustlers. I want to hear about the pressure situation that you went out because of this show and found. And dude, if you failed, I want to hear about it, man. I want to hear. We do hang up high fives out here. When somebody fails, when they blow it, dude, we give them high fives, because we know that pushing through that failure, that's where the real muscle grows. And so I want to hear about it. I want to hear about your pressure situation on next week's show. So make sure you call in 305-865-8668. Check us out on our 10X GrowthCon specials. The content was unreal. It was out of sight, out of this world. I promise you it'll change your life. Damon John, Jay Abraham, Tim Story, Tim Grover, Roddy Chong, James Barber. I mean, all the CEOs just killed it. Andy Frisella, Brad Lee, JJ Giacontelli, Tom Cummins. I mean, these guys freaking ripped the cover off the ball. My man Victor Antonio spoke. Jamie Shanks, Lewis Howes, Chelsea Cross, Danelle Delgado, Russell Brunson. I mean, dude, the lineup was just stupid. It was just stupid. Over 24 hours of content that you guys can get access to. Look, I know that there are people that became millionaires leaving that conference. Not on paper, it hadn't hit them yet, but they literally got the data and information that they need to become a millionaire. I'm sitting behind the stage paying attention to production and speaker presentations and timing and cues and da-da-da-da. Dude, and I catch little nuggets here and there. Like that pressure is a privilege thing. That changed my game. Pressure is a privilege, dude. You are in this situation because somebody believes that you should be. And maybe that doesn't need to be yourself. Maybe that needs to be somebody else. Or maybe it needs to be yourself before it's somebody else. So look, 10xgrowthcon.com. You can buy the stream right now. It's on a ridiculous deal. It's 94% off. It's only $169. That deal's going away at the end of the day. Make sure you get access to it before it changes. But more importantly, make sure that you get to that 2018 GrowthCon. We want to see you there so that you can network with 10xers, so that you can learn from 10xers, so that you can be around 10xers. Because, dude, you're a product of your environment, right? So we got early bird pricing right now that's just stupid. It's like half of what it was last year. And the demand's been really high. We've sold a bunch of tickets already. We want to see you there. But I want to see you next week here, Young Hustlers. I want to hear about your story. Go find that pressure situation. Man up. Get in over your head. Be willing to fail miserably. Dude, plan, prepare, train, execute, review what happened when you were finished. Good or bad, what you did good, what you did poorly on, what you could have done to improve, and then repeat that. Get that thing on the repeat cycle and do it over and over and over again. And I guarantee that you will find more success, more confidence, and you start building momentum in your career and your professional life. This is Young Hustlers. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next week. And remember, the only people that condemn the hustle are the ones that have already given up. Stay away from them, all right? We'll see you next week.
You guys have to understand, #1 biggest opportunity, and it's your #1 biggest advantage.
But this whole theory of needing money to make money is just bullshit.
How many times did you think about quitting, JJ, over your career?
Within a year of graduating from college, I made over $1 million online.
Is there a mistake that has been done to you? Let's use the 10X principles and play through that mistake.
It's always a yes until it's a no.
Rather than you taking a list of 50 people and just smiling and dialing. It doesn't make any sense.
This is all about how to 10x your income by building a celebrity personal brand.
But the ability to actually win, to find the opponent's weakness and to attack it and to go after it and continue to go after it.
Whatever that man needs, whatever you need, whatever I can do to support him, to help you, I'm freaking doing it.
You need to have an opinion. You are in the business to persuade other human beings.
Cash is king, and you need to learn how to where is your cash coming from, who owes it to you, when is it due.
Not you need to do the best you can. If you got a business partner that thinks this way, you think the other way, what are your people going to do?
I want more. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want more. I want it right now today.
All of you, even if you're doing $1 billion, you need to take a chance.
Because you have an uncommon desire to live a bigger life and to live your dream.
But if you cannot tie your feature, your benefit, your gain, your advantage to increasing revenue, reducing costs, expanding market share, people simply what? Shut down.
Become the star in your field. Figure out what it is that others are not doing, and do it.
There's a tribe of us, a tribe of world shakers, a tribe of history makers, a tribe of people who do not want to get stuck in an almost life.
Your business is too small, bro. You gotta figure out how to get. You should be completely focused on raising $200 million and drop the 250 of it.
We change our strategy to market to somebody every day. We've changed our strategy today just to put on the event multiple times throughout the day. Because we're nimble, because we're always trying to hit the target.
You guys all worry about all the stuff you do that you don't feel good about. You need to worry about the stuff you don't do that you should have done. Everything that I have today, all the success I have has happened in the last 7 to 8, 9 years.